Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this part 2 of the house in Fata Morgana. Thank you for joining me as I hopefully improve my voice acting skills. I guess that is something to be seen. Yes, where did we leave off? It was the birthday party between Nellie and... Was it Nell and Nellie? Nell and Melly? I think that's their names. But yes, it was Nellie, the sister, was her birthday. And then Mel gave her a gift. Of course, the birthday party, because they're a well-to-do family, had a bunch of suitors brought in by their father. And then the party got interrupted by some kind of noise at the door. But the party continued. And now it's over. And I think it's the next day. Oh, actually, I forgot to show you I just discovered this. Plays a little keystroke whenever you go to any of the menu options. Alright, the shadow of the night. Let's load this in. Now I gotta remember what the voices were. Oh, the rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure Nellie was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything either. But I'm not going to fall asleep just... Oh. Fall asleep just lying here. Okay, I guess if I scroll up on the mouse wheel, it brings back the conversations from earlier. Oh, and I guess if I scroll down, it goes forward. The only sounds that can be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night, the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth, veiled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously, despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But to where was he supposed to head? Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. Oops. Keep doing that. Accidentally hitting the scroll up. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to his destination lit by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly, but surely, drawing near to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls. Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled, into another corridor. And then stopped outside an Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of a lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movements or vibrations in the air from someone speaking. The slightest of motions can cause the light of a fire to quiver. Shifting subtly, as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. I could see the light from inside. Is she still awake? A voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservations about peeping in on another's chamber, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, Master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? I shouldn't be doing this, but the voice, it feels like it's calling to me? Or someone else? I, yes, me, could sense someone watching me at that moment. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I could not begin to speculate as to his true feelings, or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not I who is of concern, Master. It is you. You and... I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. But I can't look away. Who is that? Her skin, it's so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow, and her eyes, they're like, how do I describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for situations like this. They look like blood? No, that's just disturbing. Then wine, perhaps? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones, then? Yes, gemstones. Her eyes are like rubies. Never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Mel's eyes were affixed on the peculiar young one. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious silk. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime, her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, and her garb little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden underneath. Even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity? Even if she thought herself hideous. I wonder what happened to her. Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. As he strained his ear to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice arose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There is something strangely comforting about this house, almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I'm sorry about your father. That's not. There's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When you came to our rescue, he was already... Rescue? Father? Was that perchance what the commotion was about? He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. She flicked her gem-like eyes upward. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away. Did she just catch me? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment. She can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek in on the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quietly as he could manage. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase the girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind. Nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Who could she be? Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I have not heard any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a particular presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name? My name is... L. Wake up. Get up, Mel. What? Oh, it's morning. You disappointed me, dearest Mel. It's very much long since morning. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I came to find out what was the matter. I've really been asleep that long? And Father is too lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. But before that... Yes, dearest Mel? What are you doing here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send for one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was a long time ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead. Alright, I'm getting up. so you can see yourself out. Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink of sleep last night. You think so? You didn't go out of town last night, did you? Naughty, naughty boy. I would never. You know that. You squeaked. I don't believe you. I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late, Nelly. Hey, we weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me. I got up just fine. Anyway, shoo. I can't get dressed with you in here. Fine, I'm leaving. Phew. Oh, and I almost forgot, dearest Mel. What now? Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news. Oh? At breakfast? Which you missed. Father told us. Told you what? Do I really want to say? Sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mel. Please, Nelly. We got a new maid today, from a house we have ties to, supposedly. I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful, and I've never seen her at social gatherings. But that's not the surprising part. Does the maid? She is peculiar. Has a very unusual appearance, that one. Have white hair? What? How did you know that, dearest Mel? Thanks, Nelly. Hey, get back here! Oh, for goodness sake, what's gotten into him? Ah. Let's save it. Always gotta save. At the time, the majority of servants at the mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had abigails, so there were several woman servants, myself included. The maids, by and large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls would serve at houses even more powerful than their own. And the white-haired girl Mel saw that night before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit any longer. I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know who she is. I'm guessing she's probably Mother's maid? White hair. Has to be that girl from last night. But deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen the previous night was truly here to be a servant. And can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess, hardly what you would envision from a girl of class. But he did not seek her to find out whether that was true. He merely wanted to see her once more, to ascertain whether what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. I don't want to run into Mother. That would be awkward. He was heading towards his mother's bedchamber, but the closer he drew, the heavier each step grew. He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, wishes do come true. When Mel turned the corner, he saw her, the same girl, the same white hair. Ah. She appeared to be cleaning the hallway. She traced along the wooden carvings lining the walls, making certain not to miss even a speck of dust. the girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's abigails. There was no longer any filth to obscure her beauty. All that had covered her pure white hair and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless, ruby eyes. "Pardon me." Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. She caught Mel's gaze, and for the brief moment merely blinked at him in silence. "Lord Mel, yes. Your father informed me of you." "Did he? I guess I don't need to introduce myself then." I believe she made an attempt to smile, though it was difficult to tell. She quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met only for the briefest moment. She seemed to be looking at both someone and no one at all. "Everyone here is truly the most beautiful color hair. Did you have business with the mistress, Lord Mel?" "I can let her know if you like." No, I was looking for you." "For me?" Mel felt as though all the blood in his body had begun to flow backwards. He could only effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had a little trouble speaking with others. He'd had less experience interacting with women, this was true, but the time he had spent around Nellie had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then? "Yes, for you." "Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel?" I was wondering how you were doing." "Pardon?" I'm quite fine." Good. That's great to hear." "You fool, Mel. What are you even saying?" "You have more important things to ask, like where she came from. Or to tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. But I don't want to trouble her too much." "Lord Mel?" "Yes." "Sorry, you just fell silent. Was I, in your way?" "In my way? No, not at all." "What are you up to?" "I'm cleaning." "Oh, yeah, I didn't even need to ask." "Ah, you're cleaning." Awkward silences. "Oh, you can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is mother making..." "No, I'm doing this because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy, and I could not simply be idle." "Well, I enjoy cleaning." "Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday. This mansion is truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishings, has had a great deal of thought put into it. This family must have wonderful sense of aesthetic." "Oh, yeah, thanks." Did she just change the subject on me? "I'm delighted to be given the opportunity to serve at such a magnificent house." Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that, not even the garden. It's all been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it." "Oh, was it?" "Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he actually paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer was shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the walls were broken. I can hardly imagine. This is marvelous. This is a marvelous, impressive house." I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear it. My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He liked to do things people didn't expect just to watch the looks of surprise on their face. He was the kind of man who would buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a completely new life. Everyone who had seen the property before it was renovated was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent. Huh? I was just thinking about, you're kind of like this house. What do you mean by that? I mean, when you first arrived... Oh, no, never mind, forget it. She'll figure out you were peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she? Yes? It's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable. Oh? The truth is, it being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wanted to buy the house. They say that all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune. Do you believe it? I'm just kidding, it's not actually true. It's all rumours and hearsay, embellished to make the tale more exciting. The rumours only started because of how it used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then we wouldn't still be here. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away? No. How did he? Inside a lovely lady. What? Believe it or not, that's how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. His time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. A rather crude way to go. But he has hardly misfortune. What'd I tell you? Yes? Just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I am pure of body and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies, so... Hey, she laughed. My apologies. No, it's fine. Anyway, we were talking about the mansion, right? I've always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. That dress you're wearing, it was found here after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. The architecture is really old-fashioned too, which must have caught my grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy it, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. Renovation upon renovation gave the mansion new life, but all of his work, he was most fond of the roses in the garden. He collected species from all across the world, and every time he got a new one, he would summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long to complete. There were even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give in. I truly love roses. Me, I don't really get how someone could be so impassioned about them. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls this house Rose Manor. Perhaps the roses were meant for someone. What? I'm simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. Indeed they do. If you like roses as much as Nelly, then you're welcome to go see them for yourself. Pick as many as you'd like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Hey, don't be shy. I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work. No, I'm sensitive to sunlight. Oh? That's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you're so pale. I had no idea. That sounds rough. Your skin is so pretty too. You don't seem terribly surprised. What? I know I'm very much surprised. Or would you rather have preferred a more dramatic response? No, I just expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. That makes me sound like some kind of demonic creature. Oh, you worry too much. There's not a monster in the world as sweet as you. Yes? Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? That black-haired one especially. She's, how should I put it, a little frightening. Almost as if she's had a steel heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right? She's one of Mother's maids too, isn't she? Now I'm even more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you are henceforth hellspawn. I can imagine her saying that. Oh, and again, I'm very sorry. No need to apologize. In fact, I'd wish you'd laugh more. She's actually very kind to me, and everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long has she been here, in the mansion? Actually, she's been here for quite some time, but I don't know exactly how long. No one knows how old she is. It's kinda creepy. I've never once considered her such. Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me. It's like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all faked. That doesn't make her any less pretty, though. The conversation died. I have to think of something else to talk about. Yes, you can ask me anything. Does the master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion? I have not seen him around. Oh, yeah, father frequently returns home. This mansion is actually our secondary housing. Why do you ask, though? I was just curious, nothing more. Oh. Yes, what? Yes? What is it? One of the maids asked to see me, so I should be on my way, if you'll excuse me. What? Alright. See you later then. Goodbye. Oh right, one moment. Since you're sensitive to the sun, I can pick you some roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room. Lord Mel? That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious. I want to hide under a rock. I want to reverse time and try this over again. Roses are not becoming of me. He is too kind. Historia continua. Let's save it. And I just need a little bit of a break because I'm not a professional voice actor. So doing these voices is a bit difficult sometimes. I mean, you've probably noticed my voice cracking all over the place. So I just need a couple of minutes, and then we'll continue. A lot of setup so far. Little glimpses at what's possibly behind this mansion and the maid. Sounds like she might be immortal, or like, as I said, a witch or a ghost or something that's tied to this mansion. Alright, let us continue. You have my thanks, Father. And I apologize for being late today. Now there's something unusual. You're not being punctual. Maybe next we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on next year's crops, Mel. You hyperbolize, Father? So, did something nice happen? Huh? You look like you're in good spirits. Do I? No, nothing. Something did happen, didn't it? It's all over my face, isn't it? People prefer an open book to a face of stone. So it is. Oh, hello, game guy. How are you? Nice to see you here. So yes, this is House of Fata Morgana. It is a visual novel. And right now we're kind of in this, still pretty much in the introduction. There's something going on with this mansion, and we're just kind of playing through the story and figuring out what's behind this mansion. I'm also doing voices, which is a bit difficult for me, so hopefully it's not too much for you. Alright. People prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for social engagements. What? Not the kind of engagements you'll be having anyway. I'm sorry, don't look so dejected. For now, at least, there's nothing wrong with that. So tell me, what has you in such a joyous mood, Mel? You torment me so, Father. we've taken another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes and things get lively for a while. All the excitement has gotten me, that's all. Oh ho ho ho. Why are you looking at me like that? No reason, no reason. I'm good, just resting after being a bit busy the last few days. How are you? I'm doing pretty alright. This voice thing is definitely working out those muscles that I don't really usually use, so it's interesting. But as far as the rest of my day, yeah, it's been pretty alright. Nothing too special or out of the ordinary. So what family does the little lady come from? Oh, I don't actually know. You don't know? I was going to ask her, but I missed my chance. Father has returned home and I can't speak to Mother. I see. She's caught your eye, has she? Yeah, she has. But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, are you not? What? No, You truly do enjoy tormenting me. Well, I should be getting home now. Mel? Yes? Make certain you find out where she's from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it's your responsibility to determine if she's someone suitable for you. Thank you, and excuse me. It doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. No. I'm not in love with her. I'm just interested. This isn't love now. I couldn't be. This is me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her. Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor. It's the same beggar as before. I don't think he's moved since then. But he looks skinnier than last time. He's going to have trouble making it through the summer. I should give him something while I still have a chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, but this is all I have to give you. Ah, thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sire. Thanks. I feel bad for him, but that's just the way of the world. Farewell. The skies are really clear. The sun shone fiercely down on the town that day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during this season, but the sun almost always took the stage the day after the storm. The cathedral, standing tall in the center of town, stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sounds, footsteps, the people peering out from underneath awnings to look up at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the forsaken. Even if their time would later come to be referred to as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she had decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maids and put them to work, shouting orders and demands and complaints. and she had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl. No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? The tapestry goes by the door. And I don't like the carpet's pattern. Is there anything else we can change it with? Hey! Who put this ugly vase here? Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustrations. Though if they had found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular to that time in history. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, that it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born a generation earlier, or a generation later, she likely would not have been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nellie did not seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it rarely went beyond being her childishly adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face. Ugh, get rid of that! The carpet, the chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. Don't we have anything better? If we don't, then order it. Have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them. Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure of what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flurry of maids and furniture and fabric. She chased frantically, scrambling Abigails with her eyes and made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in their way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture made their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them. You, hold on a second. You. Yes, you with the white hair. However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave. What? The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered, to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned up into a self-assured grin. There was no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanor. Her flaxen eyes seemed like they would look nice under the light of the sun. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl. I wanted to talk to you, actually, but Mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it. Trade, you mean, Philip? Yes, which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room, because then I would have some extra hands. But why? Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who are you exactly? Where did you come from? Tell me, what house are you from? Why can't you tell me? If we took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rhodes family, I have a right to know. Do I not? You can't expect me to welcome a girl into my home who won't even tell me where she's from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties. I came from another country. Another country? What country? Somewhere very, very far away. Oh? North of here? East? West? South? South. It's south of here. I crossed the sea to get here, which is why we have never met before. How far did you have to travel then? How many times did the sun rise and how many stormy nights did you face? Oh, there we go. Looked like my stream was dying there for a second. Innumerable days and nights we sailed, heading even further north. Huh? So tell me, Lady Nellie, this is the most wonderful painting. She tried to brush me off. I won't let her get away that easy. Painting? It's in my room, so of course it's wonderful. But that one's especially so. You're both so adorable, you, Lady Nellie, and Lord Mel. How old were you when it was painted? Huh? Oh, that painting. Goodness, yes. You have a good eye for art. It is magnificent, isn't it? This was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other, holding hands? I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. But standing here like statues makes for a boring painting. Nellie explained brightly. Having completely forgotten she was pressed up against the white-haired girl, she did a little twirl, stopping to face the portrait. Though many paintings lined the walls of her room, Nellie was most fond of the one of her and her brother. 2 darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly and the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the color of fresh-picked apples. It was like the very embodiment of their happiness. A painting lays its subjects bare, fortune and misfortune, happiness and sorrow, enshrined on canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings are alive? They are drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, unlike photographs, which capture a singular moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while a painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and the present state of those they depict. Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him and he would teach me about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly even goes on walks with me. He makes excuses like I'm an adult now. But we used to spend a lot of time together in the rose garden. I see. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curled upwards, as Nellie reminisced. A vision of the 2 happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind. And I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see. Of course I do. Mel's smart, and he's so studious, and he's incredibly kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful rose necklace. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous because even the royal family makes commissions from their workshop. So he had to have ordered it months in advance. Just for me. He's a prince. Oh? It's pretty charming, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. But you know what? Mel is a terrible dancer, and he still hasn't got his feet on the ground yet, and he's so bad at interacting with girls. So there's no one else who would have said that about him. He's quite the gentleman. I assume one would be drawn to him. Gentlemen? Have you met Mel already? This morning, briefly. That reminds me, Mel seems to know about her too. What do you think about Mel? As I said, he is a gentleman. That's not what I mean. Don't think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head. What? Mel is too trusting, he's pure of heart, so I won't stand for you trying to take advantage of him. I would never. So you say, we actually want to get closer to him. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nellie. He is a man far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing anything, are you? Not at all. And you don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you? What, well, do you? I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nellie. And you won't develop any? I will not. And with that, Nellie gave a wide, satisfied grin. Even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels or how they might in the future. You wouldn't you? Would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting together with Mel is downright absurd. Indeed. But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family. I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from or anything about your... Lady Nellie, I brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. The work of a true artisan. I'm simply in love with it. Surely you will find it to your liking as well. Oh, you're right. That's a Florentine stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the style or if it was imported. Either way, a great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. Oh, and we'll have to see how the colors go with everything else. We have to finish redecorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. What a wonderful taste you have, Nellie. When the other Abigails returned, so too did the bustle within Nellie's room. As the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief at having escaped Nellie's inquisition. Or perhaps... Ah, Nellie, I'm back. Did you eat something you're not supposed to, dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful. I'm the same as I always. Anyway, never mind that, dearest Mel. Take a look at my room. I redecorated it today. So that's why what you've been doing is hiding away in the house all day, Nellie. How is that any different than what you were doing? You were at the church all day. I guess. I will look at your room, I promise, but first, do you know where the new maid is? No, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't yet had the chance to introduce myself, and I thought I should as a member of the family. Except you have, and I know it. Being the eldest son, it would be shameful if I were to pass me in the halls and not even knowing who I am, so... Don't ask me. What, but you were in the house all day. She attends to Mother, so why would I know where she is? Though she did help redecorate my room. You made her help? That's the work of men servants. There was no reason to make the maids do it. Oh, so you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room? Is the stream dying again? Okay, it's weird. I feel like the stream is dying on me or something. I go into your room all the time, Nellie, and you were in my bedchamber just this morning. Only one man is allowed in my bedroom, dearest Mel, and that is you. So unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any help from any of them for help. Oh, Nellie, you ought to be a little more what? If you're going to lecture me, I won't hear it. Well, I'm going to do with you. What am I going to do with you, my little lady? What? What? Why are you looking at me like that? We talked about you, dearest Mel, and I'm not going to tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Please, Nellie. She said she has no romantic interest in you. Oh, why did that even come up? Because we're both girls, we talk about things like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? You look like a sad little boy who can't get his crush to notice him. That face is unbecoming of Prince Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange. You haven't even met. I am not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never even met doesn't like you. That's all. Now, if I'm going to make my move, I must do so soon. I don't have much time. The master of the house isn't around, so next in line would be him. That painting. Okay. Looks like she's got some plans as well. Alright, I'm just gonna save it here and end the stream. Yeah, doing all this talking wears my voice out pretty quick. I'm just definitely not used to talking so much in my day-to-day. Usually a very quiet person. Anyway, we will probably continue this again next week. Thank you, Game Guy, for dropping by. And thank you, everyone else, for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Yes, I will continue this next week. But also, tomorrow, there is a special little thing. I made part 2 of the collab we did, Apex collab punishment game thing. I made a second video, which should be releasing tomorrow. So check it out if you can. Really appreciate it. Anyway, I think now I'm starting to ramble, so let's go ahead and end this. Thank you everyone for dropping by as always, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.